Can you hear me, please? Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can.
All right, great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, colleagues, for joining. I think it's a few minutes past 2 o'clock. I believe it's a good time to begin. On behalf of our cluster leader, Dr. Gislin Tepeyoto, I want to welcome all participants to this afternoon's virtual event on matchmaking to help us in already starting the discussions around the bundles AICCRA Ghana cluster will be promoting or is already promoting in the coming years. I think this event is a precursor to the physical event that will be happening on the 1st of August. Again, I welcome you all to this session. I will not want to bore you so much with a lot of talk, but pretty much the objective is to allow us start that interaction over here, and then we can move forward to the physical event. So I will first of all run us through the agenda. We will have some introduction to the AICCRA project for those of us joining for the very first time by Dr. Faustino Bing. And then we will quickly just go into the breakout session. And it's during this breakout session that we'll have much of the information. And it's my understanding that we have received over 70 interest or registered participants to be part of this. And then we'll come back again after an hour of discussions and deliberations to actually listen to the next steps and the closing remarks. So it's very simple and straightforward. I would not waste your time. I would like to hand over to Dr. Faustino Bing to start or set the scene. Thank you. Okay, so the breakout rooms, I think the focus is just going to be about each participant making a pitch around the solutions the organizations will be offering. I think this was already shared on the WhatsApp platform. I believe everybody has prepared such a pitch so that it can be very smooth during the breakout sessions. Thematic leaders will present the content around the thematic bundle and ideas around what we intend to scale in the coming years. There will be opportunity for questions and answers within that 1 hour time allocated to each of the groups as well. And then we can come back to the plenary to listen to the next steps. Thank you, and I would like to hand over to Dr. Faustino. Over to you, Faustino.
Thank you so much, Mustafa, for setting the scene. In the next 12 to 15 minutes, I would quickly run you through the AICCRA project, what we have done in the last 3 years, and the Accelerator Program, and what we hope to achieve with all of you here today. So AICCRA, it's an acronym that stands for Accelerating the Impacts of CGIAR, Climate Research for Africa. It's basically a scaling project that is building on over 50 years of research and innovations around climate smart agriculture, technologies and practices, as well as climate information systems. The effort is to reach millions of smallholders in Africa with these innovations to build their climate resilience. It is anchored on 3 main components. One is the knowledge generation and services, which over the last 50 years, we have developed and currently also validating some of the innovations. The second pillar is also partnerships for delivery. And in the last 3 years, we have worked with some public and private sector partners, and this accelerator is anchored on this pillar of partnerships. And then, of course, the third and one of the important pillars is to scale the CSA CIS innovation. So AICCRA is operating in 6 focus countries. That's Senegal, Mali, and Ghana in West Africa, Ethiopia and Kenya in East Africa, and Zambia in Southern Africa. But through regional bodies such as CORAF in West and Central Africa, we also have spillover effects in other non-AICCRA focus countries. So quickly, in Ghana, we have been building a climate smart Ghana in the last 3 years through our innovations and partners. So our main purpose is that we have one Ghana, but there are many partners through which we have prioritized climate smart innovations. So some of the partners include the Plant Protection and Regulatory Services Division of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. We also work with the ministry, especially the Directorate of Agriculture Extension Services. We work with the Department of Agriculture in the implementing districts. We work with CSIR, specifically Crop Research Institute and INSTI. We work with Ghana Meteorological Agency, University for Development Studies, Binari, Isoko, and Farm Radio. And this year we've added 2 new partners, that is Farmerline and SciComm. So together with these partners, we have prioritized climate smart innovations for maize, cowpea, yam, sweet potato, and vegetables in the last 3 years. And this year we've added granite to it. We've also worked around cabbage. This year we are integrating more activities around cabbage production. And underpinning a lot of the climate smart innovations that we are scaling is climate information services. And for that, GMET has been very integral in helping us to disseminate the seasonal forecast. So there's an outlook on how the whole season is going to be like. So we have information on onset, cessation, and dry spells. And based on this climate information service, we develop a cropping calendar. Then we also disseminate daily and weekly forecasts such that not only are farmers going to plant the entire season, but even on the weekly and daily basis, they take decisions based on these climate information services. So the approach has been for climate information to inform climate smart technologies or practices that farmers should adopt. And so these are just some of the innovations that we have prioritized, validated, and disseminated across the country. So for maize, cowpea, we have paid attention to climate smart seeds that are drought tolerant, that are early maturing, and maize that is also striga tolerant, and for cowpea, dual purpose. We've also paid attention to tillage options that are climate smart, as well as integrating cereals and legumes to build soil seed stock. And for many of the crops that we work on, the issue of climate-driven pests and diseases was also a major challenge. So we have been working on using biopesticides as part of a climate smart and One Health way of managing pests and diseases. And so we have promoted the neem leaf powder for both soil organic amendment, but also for application in terms of some soil-borne diseases that surface at the development stage of the crop. And for all these climate smart innovations, climate information services has been a cross-cutting issue that we have worked on as a project. So in Ghana, these are the areas that we work in. We are in Upper East, Upper West, Northern region, Bono East region, Central region, and Greater Accra region. From 2021 to 2023, which was the inaugural phase of AICCRA, the first phase, we worked in 11 districts across these 6 regions. And we had 20 anchor communities that we piloted innovations on field demonstrations. But our activities, especially through the Department of Agriculture, through the Digital Platform, and also through radio extension, was district-wide. So the 20 communities were the anchor communities for field demonstration. And in this phase, what we call the additional financing, that is from 2024 to 2025, we are adding 45 new communities. So in the old districts where we had 2 communities, we've added 3 more anchor communities. And we have also added 2 new districts, one in Northern region and one in Greater Accra region. So in the AF, we have 45 communities in addition to our old 20 communities. So we have 65 anchor communities and we have 13 districts that we are currently working on. So our scaling model has really been built around a lot of the partnerships with public and private sector actors already within this space. So there have been a lot of capacity building activities to ensure that the partners involved in the AICCRA project ourselves are well capacitated. And then we also further capacitate many of the intermediaries, and in this case, the Department of Agriculture and the Agriculture Extension agents, as well as the Women in Agriculture Development, the RIAD officers in these districts, so that they can further scale our innovations to farmers. So we have worked with technology parks, which includes the physical demonstration plots where we pilot the innovations that we are disseminating. We've also encouraged a lot of farmer-to-farmer learning. We've used radio, we've used the local extension network, and also the mobile-based platform of AICCRA. So in terms of some of our achievements with regards to access and to some extent use of our innovations, in the last year alone, in 2023 alone, we managed to reach over 390,000 farmers with our CIS and CSA innovations. Now, these are a lot of activities, but we have clustered them here in three main broad activities just to consolidate the numbers. In terms of in-person training by extension officers and lead farmers, and this include farmer-to-farmer learning, field days, WIAD officers working with women in VSLA groups, were able to reach over 45,000. And here the achievement was that through this particular medium, we reached about 52% of all participants were women. And this was because of the intentional customized programs we had for reaching women with innovations that are key to their climate smart crops. And through the mobile-based dissemination, we reached over 100,000 farmers, 44% of them being females. And through the radio program, we reached over 245,000 farmers. So in terms of the actual nitty-gritties of what was happening with farmers that we reached with this innovation, prior to starting the project, we did a baseline study to understand the existing situation and how we can really adapt our innovations to the realities of farmers. And so at the end of last year, we conducted an adoption study to really see what is changing in terms of farmers' access and use of these innovations. And really realized that in terms of CIS, the seasonal forecast that we distributed across the country was a major innovation that farmers use in planning their farming activity. So for instance, they decided on the best time to plant, the best time and approach to prepare their land, the best time and approach to prepare to apply fertilizers, and the pesticides that they should use. So for many farmers, these practices, together with the specific climate smart technologies, including stress-tolerant varieties, the biopesticides that we promoted, we realized that farmers were able to make climate smart decisions, and they were adapting their farming practices according to the way that the weather was behaving, but also according to the incidence of pests and diseases. So in terms of some percentages, these are a wide range of percentages, but we know that in terms of access to climate information service, there was about 1 to 32% use when in 2021 when we started, and as at last year, there was some 4 to 34% increase depending on the specific CIS and the crop that farmers were applying it to. And in terms of the use of climate smart varieties, what we call smart varieties, we realized that there was an increase from 25 to say about 34%. And we also realized that many farmers were adapting climate smart practices, including crop rotation, especially rotation between legumes and cereals. And in terms of the use of biopesticides, there was about 6%, 5% increase in the use among the farmers that we had done the baseline on and from whom we reached out to again during the adoption study. So in the last 3 years, we have made some gains, especially on access. We have really made sure that farmers can access through multiple channels, climate information services, but also some of the climate smart technologies and practices that are cost efficient. But then we have realized that to be able to scale these innovations to the level where we can really build climate resilience for many farmers, and to say that we have built a climate smart Ghana, we need to accelerate the efforts that we have made within the AICCRA project. And that is how this accelerator program comes in. One of the learnings that we also had in the last 3 years is that for many farmers to truly build their climate resilience, they needed to go beyond the use of just a single innovation, whether it's climate information or climate smart practice or a technology. What really builds climate resilience if farmers are using these innovations as a bundle. So all the key innovations that make sure that for a particular crop that a farmer is engaging, the CIS, CSA, or CSA practice or CSA technology is available for the farmer to use as a bundle. So putting this together as an end-to-end solution for farmers. So the accelerator is aiming to do 2 things: to accelerate the numbers of farmers that are going to use our innovations, but also to ensure that farmers are not using single innovations, but they are using a bundled solution. So what really are we aiming to achieve with our accelerator? We want to reach 300,000 farmers with our innovations, and not just reach them, but for these farmers to really use the innovations, because it is in the using of these innovations that climate resilience is built. So we have a cash grant of 50,000 USD per each of the bundles that we are hoping to promote. So for the successful applicants, this cash grant is available. And for the 300,000 farmers, we're hoping that the 4 bundles would each reach 75,000 farmers. So together, then the 4 bundles will give us the numbers of the 300,000 farmers. And so the 2 years literally starts from 2024. So the scaling of the innovations would actually end in 2025. And so the numbers here are what we hope to achieve by the end of 2025. So basically, we are hoping to scale 4 main climate smart agriculture and climate information services bundles. The bundles include climate smart integrated pest management, solar irrigation for female farmers, smart seeds and market systems, and smart production and soil. If you look at these bundles, you realize that they are named after specific innovations or solutions. But as I explained earlier, the bundled is an end-to-end solution. So when you unpack this bundle, there's more to it than just the specific innovation or the main technology you see that the bundle is named after. You get more insights on this bundle in the breakout rooms. So let me give you an example of how a bundle looks like. So this is from Zambia. And the companies, the 2 companies, Vitalite and Lima Links, had been working with farmers for a very long time. And when AICCRA wanted to accelerate efforts in Zambia, one of the bundles that they were promoting was off-grid solar irrigation for farmers. And so the partnered Vitalink and Lima Links wanted to go into this scaling of that innovation, but they needed large-scale quantities of pumps. And then Future Pump is an asset provider that sells these off-grid solar pumps. But the amount of money needed to procure a lot of these solar pumps for the numbers of farmers that are required demanded that they get in touch with an asset with a financial service provider, and that is where Lupia came in. So this is how these companies came together to form a consortium that developed an end-to-end solution that made sure that the financing, the capital investment, the insurance, as well as all the climate smart practices that needed to be disseminated, and then the innovations that needed to be disseminated to farmers were available to them. So this is how we envision a solution. So if there's a company that can provide this solely, this end-to-end product solely, that company can apply a loan. But then if it requires that a group of companies come together and build on their strengths to develop a bundled solution, we also encourage a lot of partnerships. And indeed, that is the main reason why we are holding this matchmaking events, hoping that you'd get to know what each other has to offer and then get into partnership. So in terms of what we offer for the winners of this accelerator program, I've mentioned earlier the 50,000 USD grant per bundle, but we also offer technical assistance during the active project duration. So the technical assistance include the scientific knowledge and technologies which we have developed in the last 50 years and currently promoting it. It also includes an inclusive business plan that we would develop together with the winning grants after they have the successful proposals have been submitted. It also includes the readiness. We would do a readiness analysis to really make sure that all the loopholes that need to be closed to enable scaling had been closed. And there's also technical support throughout the implementation, would help with monitoring and evaluation. And importantly, there's a major event where we call the Investors Forum. So based on the activities in scaling these innovations, we would organize an event with investors who, if they are convinced, would also invest in the bundle solution. So in terms of the phases of the project, we did an info session in June, and this is the second phase of the project where we are doing the matchmaking. So this is the virtual one, and we have an in-person matchmaking on August 1st. After that, there's the call for applications that has been published, but then the deadline is on 31st August. We are interested in how you really put together your proposal. And so I would invite Reginald to come in to really walk you through exactly how the proposal is supposed to be submitted with the templates that we have developed.
Hello, hi, good afternoon. I hope you can hear me. Yes, thank you for joining us. This is the application page for the program. I'm sure most of us have seen it. So I will just start. I would like to draw attention to one important element here. The businesses that will apply must be able to operate in Ghana. So you have to be a registered business in Ghana to apply. So I'll jump straight to that. Faustina has been kind to speak about the timeline. So then I'll talk briefly about the in-person matchmaking. That will be August 1st. We understand the challenges and the dynamics with online sessions. We also know the advantages with in-person meetings. So in the next several minutes, you're going to learn about other agribusinesses who will be applying to the bundle you are interested in. You get to know them. We believe the physical meeting will allow you to connect with them and strategize as to how you would like to apply to the program. I'll go to the application process. So it's pretty simple. Before you start, we will encourage you to download the proposal document, which is here. Very easy to download. Then you will fill in. I'm trying to yes. This is it. Very easy. Please look out for the text marked red. They will guide you. The document is simple. You need a title of the proposal, of course, the bundle you're applying for, the district. So please pay attention to the TOR we shared with you for each of the bundle. It details the district each of the bundle will be scaled in, so you are aware which areas your product and services will be scaled in. Your budget request is shooting the maximum of 50,000 USD. So your proposal must include a budget. Then you must give a few, including information on the bundle you prefer, the aim of the project, the business, the plan. How do you intend to develop the product, and how do you intend to get it to the market? Background information, all that is here. But I want to take your attention to a very important element of the proposal, which is the evaluation criteria. They are all marked in red. So please, I advise you to pay attention, read them, understand them whilst applying. So I'll take you back to the website to finish up. Yeah, I jumped to my email. Where is it? Okay. I'm coming. Oh, okay. Let me stop sharing. Okay. 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 Mhm. Okay. So when you download the proposal, we encourage, for example, you've Faustina explained that for some of the bundles, you'll see that you probably would need other companies to come on board to form a consortia. So, for example, if you're a business and you think you can provide the end-to-end service, you apply solely for the program. They're supposed to include your business registration documents and your CV. But for businesses who will be applicants who will be applying as a consortium, only one agribusiness will apply on your behalf. So you sit down and you decide company A will apply for us, and the person will just go to the application, put in their names, their company. But in the proposal, they have to include the names of all the partner organizations, the business registration documents, and also the CV of the founders. So when you are done, you just upload the document. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, so thank you so much. This is just about the Accelerator Program and how we are hoping to set it up. The winning partners would become partners for the AICCRA project, as has happened in other countries. We hope that you will get more clarity on the bundles and the Accelerator Program in the breakout rooms. And then hopefully at the end of this section, when we reconvene in plenary, any outstanding burning issue, we can clarify it. So thank you so much. And Mustafa, back to you. Apologies that we went beyond the time that was allocated for this session.